Hi, we're going to do a neurological assessment on you today. The first thing I'm going to check on you is when you were walking in, I would watch your gait, your walking, see that you're, walking well and coordinated. The other thing, I would do like a little mini mental assessment. So with the cranial nerves, we're going to check 1 through 12. So I'm going to start with number 1. That's your olfactory nerve. That's your nose and your sense of smell. I'm going to have you cover one nares and sniff up. Great. And then I'm going to have you close your eyes. I'm going to have you cover one nares again, and I'm going to have you smell. Can you smell that?
Yep.
And what is it?
Smells like vanilla.
Great. Okay, that's good. And I do the other side as well. So, cranial nerve 1 is intact. Cranial nerve 2 is the optic nerve. So I've done this before. We use the Snellen chart with a big E on top. I would check your vision, your right, your left, and both together, near and far. I would check your for your near vision by holding a paper up in front of you. I just want you to read this right there.
Evaluate levels of consciousness.
Great. Sorry. So we did that, and your vision's fine. Next, we're going to do the confrontation test. The confrontation test is I'm going to have you stand up, and you're going to cover one eye. Cover one eye. Same eye as me. Same eye.
Oh, okay, like this. Yep.
Yep. And I want you to tell me when you can see my fingers.
Yep.
Can you see?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Okay, great. And we do the other side, so your peripheral vision is good. Next, we're going to check your cranial nerves 3, 5, and 6. We'll check those out together. I'm going to look into your eye with a light, so I'm going to pretend this is a light. And where's my other little tool? All right. And I'd shine the light into your eye. I'd see your pupil constrict. And then I'd shine the light in your eye again, and I'd note that your other pupil also constricts. So that would be for your accommodation and conversion. So they both respond to light directly and consensually. So next we're going to check the muscles of your eyes and extraocular movements. So I want you to look at my finger and follow it. I'm going to check for extra eye movements. Follow my finger. Great. And I don't see any nystagmus. He has no problems following my finger. There's no extraocular eye movements. He has tracking, parallel tracking, and I don't see your EOMs are intact. Cranial nerve number 5 is the trigeminal nerve. So right here, I'm just gonna have you clench a little bit. Great, and I'm going to have you clench here. Great. And I'm going to ask you to clench your teeth, and what I can feel is that your masseter muscles are intact. Masseter muscles are intact and +5. So I'm going to have you check for sharp and dull. I'm going to show you what sharp and dull is by testing on your arm. So this is sharp, and this is dull. Okay? And I want you to tell me whether you can feel sharp or dull on your face. I want you to close your eyes for me. Great. So I'll check the temporal.
Sharp. Sharp. Sharp.
Great. Close your eyes.
Dull. Sharp.
Great. All right. So those are nice and intact. And that would be cranial nerve number 5. Cranial nerve number 7. Oh, sorry. Yeah, cranial nerve number 7 are your facial nerves. So I'm going to have you raise your eyebrows up. All right, they're nice and even. I'm going to have you close your eyes really, really, really tight. Don't let me open them. Great. Those are good. I'm going to have you smile. Wonderful. Your face is nice and symmetric. And cranial nerve number 7 is intact. So cranial nerve number 8 is your acoustic nerve, and that's your hearing. So I am going to do the Rene test and the Weber test, which we have performed before when I did your your hearing. So I am going to use my handy dandy tuning fork, and I want you to tell me if you, so the Rene test is when sorry honey, So the Renee test and the Weber test is going to be, when I put this on top of his head, I'm going to have him tell me whether he hears it in the left, right, or both ears better. So I'm going to do that now. And do you feel it here?
Both.
Great. And I do this again with the tuning fork, and I'm going to check the Renee test. I would strike this, put it on the mastoid muscle. He would tell me when he does not hear the sound anymore, and then after that, I will put it in front, and he would tell me when he wouldn't hear the sound anymore. And that should be a 2-to-1 ratio, and that's what he had before when I assessed it. So that means air conduction and bone conduction. Air conduction is greater than bone conduction, 2-to-1. Okay? So cranial nerve number 9 and 10, I'm going to have you open your mouth. Say ah, and look in with a pen. I can see the soft palate move up. You know, the cranial nerve number 9 and 10, so we can also elicit the gag reflex by putting a tongue depressor on your soft palate, but I won't do that to you today. And then cranial nerve number 11 is the spinal accessory nerve. I want you to push up on my hand, sorry. Push up with your shoulders, shrug up, great, and down. Relax. And I want you to do that again, turn your head left and right. Shrug up, left, right, great, and down. And then I just want you to push against my hands, left, right, great. All right, so cranial nerve number 11 is intact. Cranial nerve number 12, I'm going to have you stick out your tongue. It's nice and midline. There's no problem with that, no deviations. It's intact, and that's it for the cranial nerves.